Hogs Market Day Report. Here we are at midday. Let's see if we can touch on all of our row crops real quick. We'll start with the corn market, and corn is trading higher, 4.77 1/4. It's up 6 3/4 cents. We're also watching a bit of a rally in the bean market, up 11 3/4, 11.55 3/4. Before we get to the other markets, Chris Robinson Ag Marketing's with us. Chris, what are you watching?
Well, really good recovery and hold in corn and beans, a little bit of backfilling in wheat, but we had just had a really good rally. I'm amazed because we kind of got bad news yesterday. I mean, bearish news. Brazil's crop's bigger than everybody thought, number one. And also, there's no resolution yet with what's going on in the Persian Gulf. So the fact that we got kind of bearish news and the market said, oh no, we're going to rally, that to me is a positive and something to look at. Also, too, we've had a good bounce in corn. Spot corn's trading at 451. And the last thing I'll say, too, is a couple of days ago, beans had what they call a key reversal day, where we made a new 6-week high and then really fell out of bed. So to see it recover, you gotta love to see that. You got November beans back up to 11.57. We were worried about 11.40 holding. So all in all, a good day in the grains. I'm never one to dwell too much on the why, although I do find this is interesting because planting progress is going really well. We're 6% done for soybeans. We're 5% done for corn. You kind of got that little negative news about with new crop beans and maybe China kind of sitting on their hands. So to see us rallying like this, I think it's a great day.
Okay, I want to move from beans over to one of the markets that had been kind of leading us higher, and that had been the wheat market. But we're pulling back a little bit here. Any thoughts on July Chicago, by the way, trading a tick under $6. It's a penny and a half lower here on the session. And hard red, 634 3/4, down a penny and a half. Thoughts here?
Well, we had a really nice rally when we saw all the greens rally. Right, we had over a $1.25 rally. We hit 1-year highs. That was a gift. And then after that USDA report, we really fell out of bed. We gave back half of it. So pretty technical trade. The funds out there just flipped and got long wheat. So that's one thing to watch. If the speculators stay with it, I think that's positive. But again, to see some strength after a pretty negative USDA report, they came out and increased the size of the carryout. It could just be a rally in a bit of a bear market, but I'll take it where I can get it. Certainly, if we can get some sort of a weather story moving ahead, that would be friendly for wheat. But to see us holding in, that was a really bearish USDA report for wheat. So to see us still sitting here at $6, remember, Tony, we started the year, we were down at 5.25, right? So take advantage of the fact that we're still 75 cents above that low.
Yeah, I mentioned we'll hit all of our row crops. We'll just work our way through before the break here. December cotton, 78.50. It's up 130 points. And here's one that's been up 6% year over year. The canola market, lightly traded, but it is moving higher. And we'll wrap it up with these two. Oats. Oats have had a hard run this month. They're down about 6%. And finally, the rice market. It's really been the dog of the row crops, losing nearly 20% of its value, but higher here in the session. All right, Chris, hang on. Quick break here. We'll come back, talk livestock markets next. This is Market Day Report. Thought we'd start with the hog market here. It's lower for the 7th straight session. April contract is higher, but look at the May, down 55, 93.67. We're still holding the triple digits on the June contract, so I guess if you're looking for a silver lining there, that might be it. But now, year over year, we're pretty close to being right back where we were 12 months ago here in the hog market. Over on the feeders have been higher 5 straight sessions. That will probably end today. April 372.85. It's off 302. Deepest loss, the May contract, a little more active at 369.75. It's down 510. And then live cattle futures, they've been gained 9% over the past month, but we're lower across the board. And we're keeping an eye on Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, we get USDA's cattle on feed report. Chris Robinson's in Chicago. And all right, Chris, any thoughts here on cattle?
Well, we just made all-time highs, this week, yesterday, the day before. So, and we're having a little bit of a pullback here today. We haven't had a correction in 30 days, and we've, I don't know what else. There's nothing else to say. Cattle is at all-time highs. So nobody sells the high, nobody hedges the high. Certainly, this has been a tremendous recovery. Can't say enough about it. So, are the highs in? I don't know. We went through this for the last year and a half. Remember, though, at some point we're exposed to some sort of a correction. There were some concerns out there. Every day there's something that could pop up and surprise us. But given all the action that we've had here, especially the last 30 days, because we had that little sell-off correction when the stock market broke 10%. Stock market's at all-time highs again, Tony. S&P 500 is above 7,000. And I think that the one worry is if the consumer has to pay for more gasoline. We've been talking about this for 4 years now. When will they stop buying expensive beef? Right now, the futures market's telling you that it's not yet.
Well, and again, we, like you said, we've been asking the question, when will the consumer stop doing it? And I don't know that we're seeing that. So is it that the consumer is just more resilient than we thought? Or are we maybe basing that on some false assumptions? Final thought there?
I think everybody's been surprised. And the question is, when will we stumble in? Remember, we just had the $80 sell-off. We had a $40 sell-off. And then since that low there, we've clawed it all back. So is this a double top? Are we getting ready to roll up? A lot of people think we may see $4 feeders. I don't know. I can remember when $3 feeders were kind of pie in the sky. So, and here we are, at 375, 376.
Yeah, good points. Chris, thanks for popping in. By the way, Chris Robinson Ag Marketing, he's on Commodity Wrap on Rural Radio 147 on Sirius XM every Thursday.